And you proved me wrong. I challenge you today if you don't like what I'm about to say.
Howdy y'all, I'm Brylan. Now in my most recent video, I exposed the dark truth about the Los Angeles fires. If you want your mind to be blown, go watch that video. I showed how the absolute liberal incompetence from the leadership in California, like Gavin Newsom, and the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, and the top 3 women of the LA Fire Department, all LGB, by the way, big surprise, how their absolute incompetence in their radical leftist agenda is destroying California because this disaster is ravaging as they sit back and, well, continue to prioritize their radical social agenda. Hey, real quick, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? You know when you like this video, you're not agreeing with the insanity. You're helping push this video out to more people to help spread the truth. In this video, I want to show you what Pastor Jack Hibbs of Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, had to say about the wildfires and exposing the incompetence of the liberal leadership in California. But first, well, a tragic update. At least 24 people have died in the fires in Los Angeles. Many are missing. I'm guessing that it's going to get worse. The death count will get higher, unfortunately. But don't worry, because Gavin Newsom and California Democrats right now have reached a deal to fight Trump as LA continues to burn. You know, these fires aren't over. And the Democrats, all they care about is continuing to push their radical social agenda and literally putting money instead of towards the fires, instead of getting water in the dang fire hydrants, they're putting the money towards fighting Trump. People are dying. People are losing everything. They've lost everything in these LA fires. And the incompetence of the left is fully responsible. And you see garbage like this, where Gavin Newsom is showing what his priorities are. They're not for California residents. They are for himself and for the radical liberal agenda. They always have been and always will be. In fact, calls for the resignation of Karen Bass as LA mayor and Gavin Newsom as the governor are growing so fast and so quick by so many different people that even Mike Johnson said this about giving California aid.
I think we've got to have a serious conversation about that. Obviously, there's been water resource mismanagement, forest management mistakes, all sorts of problems. And it does come down to leadership, and it appears to us that state and local leaders were derelict in their duty in many respects. So that's something that has to be factored in. I think there should probably be conditions on that date. That's my personal view. We'll see what the consensus is.
He says that leadership in California has derelicted their duty. They absolutely 100% have, and there should be conditions on any aid that California gets. In fact, Kevin O'Leary puts what those conditions should be quite succinctly.
Give me 30 seconds. And Bass, I think every taxpayer in America, including those in California, would like to tie this aid to removing Newsom and Bass. Now, gone. Part of the deal would be, and I know Trump likes new ideas, here's one, not a dime until those two are whacked from their jobs immediately. They are so incompetent, and all of the decisions they've made led to this, and they're still making mistakes. They're horrific managers.
Spot on. Absolutely 100%. There should be aid given to California, but it should be tied to the fact that Newsom and Karen Bass need to go. They are horrible, absolutely horrid leaders. They have been for years. Newsom has run California into the ground. That used to be my home state, born and raised in California, and he has destroyed that state. It is social, radical social agenda first. That is it. Everything else isn't even on the map for this man. In fact, look at this. Even the LA Times owner had this to say about supporting Karen Bass in the last election.
Well, first of all, we'll accept some blame, right? So at the LA Times, we endorse Karen Bass. I think right now in front, that's a mistake, and we admit that. So I thought it was very important early on for me to come out. And I think we were one of the few to say competence matters. We got like maybe 20, 23 million views to show how that was really dear to the heart of most people, whether you're right or left.
You even see Khloe Kardashian blasting Mayor Karen Bass for, she called her a joke because of her incompetence. In fact, a very famous pastor, his name is Jack Hibbs. He's the lead pastor of Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. Now, full disclosure, I grew up in Calvary Chapel. Calvary Chapel was my home church for most of my life, and so I'm very familiar with Calvary Chapel. I've also done work in Calvary Chapel. Sadly, a lot of pastors turn a blind eye to the social destruction that's going on. But Jack Hibbs is very outspoken, and I respect that about him. And I want to show you what he had to say. In fact, what he exposes about the incompetence of the leadership in California. He's been outspoken about this for many years, but this is a tipping point, and you can hear it in his voice and in his words.
We have watched the absolute exposure of the most incompetent, reserve your applause to the end. Nobody can hide from this. Nobody can hide from it. There's no excuses. This is the most wealthiest state in the 50. We pay the most in taxes. We pay the most in gas. We pay the most in electricity.
Yep.
You name it. If it's in California, we pay the most for it. Why?
Yep.
Why? Because of our government.
Yep.
Why? Because of things that Sacramento does because they can. Our flag of this state is an absolute abject lie. The flag says California Republic. It is not. A republic is where the people decide and the people have their way. What has happened to California? And you prove me wrong. I challenge you today, if you don't like what I'm about to say. California has been under unmitigated Democrat 100% power control. Democrat.
Yep.
Supermajority. What does that mean, supermajority? It means nobody can oppose their decision making. And now you've got it. You've got a situation where a catastrophe came and the billions of dollars that you and I gave was diverted to other woke, stupid Democrat projects. That's not hyperbole. It is a fact. You don't like it, change your party.
In fact, again, you can go watch the video I just did on this to show that, yes, that is the truth, that it's an absolute disaster. Not just what's happening with the fires, but the leadership is an absolute disaster. And I show that in my last video, The Dark Truth About the Los Angeles Fires.
I'm upset and I'm angry, and it's the right kind of anger. I'm telling you this right now. When you open up a fire hydrant and nothing comes out, and then Joe Biden says, it's because we need electricity. It was turned off for the fire hydrant to turn on. In some cases, that might be true. If the fire hydrants are on top of a mountain, you need a motor to drive the water up. That's extremely rare, and it wasn't the case in these fires. Bad management, horrific politicians who took your money and took trips like Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. She decided to go to Africa the week of the fires to be on a little trip that you paid for. She was really put out when she was told to come home. It didn't look bad. I mean, it didn't look good, that it looked very bad. You've got Gavin Newsom flying down here and then at a command center laughing it up with some people, and it's caught on tape, while he spends 9 point so many millions of probably your dollars to buy himself a new house. It's time to replace the leadership in California. You don't need any more examples. These fires could have been stopped. We're California. We have Santa Ana winds. Southern California is predominantly very arid. We know this. We've known this for hundreds and hundreds of years. But let me ask you something. What have we done to strengthen the infrastructure of our water system? Answer, nothing. We've done the exact opposite. We have built homes, and listen, the system that's in place now, it was built under a system whereby California had half the amount of its population, and we never beefed up our reservoirs. We never built new dams. We never held the water because Gavin Newsom and Jerry Brown and Dianne Feinstein, Barbara Boxer, Nancy Pelosi thought it was a great idea to send the water out to the ocean. This is a third world state. It's unacceptable, or give us our money back.
I will say, living in California for so long, I lived in Northern California and Southern California for many years. So I know what it's like to go through these water shortages and the government telling you not to use water. And here's the kicker. You would have HOAs in neighborhoods that required you to keep your lawn green. Yet the government would tell you not to use any water to water your lawn. So you would have to keep your lawn green. You're not allowed to use any water. That is the liberal mindset in a nutshell. You must do this, but we will not allow you to do this in order to achieve this. Real quick, look at Isaiah chapter 40 with me. Look at verse 29 here. He gives power to the weary, and to him who lacks vigor, he increases might. Though youths grow weary and tired, and choice young men stumble badly, yet those who hope in Yahweh will gain new power. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and not become weary. You know, when we rely on the Lord and lean on the strength of Yahweh God, then we can have the endurance and the ability to continue to run no matter what's going on around us, no matter what we're facing, no matter what kind of trials or tribulations we are going through. We will have the endurance and the ability to rise above them and overcome anything that comes against us. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please, hit that thumbs up button. You know when you like this video to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.